Keith Myers here again. Another little lesson blurb for Peekaboo Martial Boxing. Something that's called the reverse hook. What the hell is a reverse hook, right? This is interesting. This one, you have to have been working on the shift that we talked about, right? Remember, for the shift, my head is that way, my hips are that way, and then I'm going to throw my hips over here and swing my body around, right? I go in this way. When I want to go that direction, my head is here, this hip is loaded, and I'm going to throw my hip this way. So I did a whole video on how to do the shift, right? You got to have that one down good to be able to do this, because this is like a very shortened, abbreviated version of the shift, because it's like I'm standing here and I'm going to twist my hips without leaning my body, so I don't have all this loading going on. It's almost the same hip action, but I don't have the benefit of loading it, so I can twist my hips. I'm going to twist my hips without the load, right? So I'm essentially here, and it's just like somebody's come up behind me, put their hands on my hips, and twisted real suddenly, right? Like imagine your coach coming up behind you, grabbing your hips, and twisting you around. That's the effect you want. So it's this sudden twist. And then as you land, right, your momentum carries through and it's going to rebound. And when it rebounds, boom, that's the hook. Right to the body. Shovel hook, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, this sudden, and you got to work on it. I'm still working on it to get it right. So that there's minimal head movement. So the guy might have been seeing you do this and he's kind of expecting it. Then all of a sudden it's just boom, bam, right? Or going the other way. Just throw my hips without moving my upper body. Boom, bam, right? Throw the hips. Boom, bam. Boom, bam. A sudden twist, twist, hit. Sudden twist that way, twist, hit. Twist, hit. Twist, hit. And the only reason I can think of is called a reverse hook, because you would expect the movement coming this way is going to be the hook, right? Over here. So maybe the guy sees you moving and he's expecting that hook. He thinks you're coming around to do this, so he starts to cover, but then all of a sudden it's boom, it's up the center. Right? Boom. Boom. Just a sudden twist hit. Sudden twist hit. Pow. Pow. Okay? Here's another aspect that I've seen recently that people go wrong with Peekaboo Boxing is if they've been doing something else first, like a lot of Jeet Kune Do, or standard boxing, where they're thinking of leading with one foot and staying bladed, right? The whole idea is distance. The further I am away from the guy, the more I'm just using my lead arm, my lead hand, the more bladed I am, so my body is less of a target, and I got all my momentum behind that lead punch or kick. The closer I get, I want to start using this hand. I need to get a little more square so that hand can come out easily. The closer I get, I want to start using both hands equally. Now I've got to get almost completely square. And this is where Peekaboo Boxing happens. Not a bladed stance. I can have one foot slightly in front of the other, this way or this way, but in general, my hips and shoulders are square to the opponent, unless I'm stepping on one side or the other. And that's what makes this motion work to begin with, is I can go equivalently side to side because I'm relatively square. The minute I try to do standard boxing stance, that just doesn't work as well. It's not as fluid, it's not as fast because I'm not square, right? If you watch Mike Tyson, man, he was moving in. He could fight pretty much with either side forward. And that's Peekaboo Boxing.